Hello and welcome to Watch Maxie's Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. Yesterday on September 17th I had the great honor and pleasure to have a watch talk with Matthias Klüh, CEO of Guinand. We had a lot of fun, we touched a couple of serious topics and most important, we agreed to record our talk and make it available to you on my channel. I hope you do enjoy watching the talk as much as we did as we recorded it. So we're here at Guinand together with Matthias Klüh, CEO of Guinand. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to have a watch talk for such a small channel like mine.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. We agreed to meet and have a watch talk. I would like to cover a couple of topics, like, for example, the Corona crisis and how it affects Guinand as a company and the whole industry and the clients, or the future of watches as a luxury good. And what I also would like to know is how you would see Guinand compared to the branch and the market. But before we come to that, I would like to learn more about you as a person, and I think some of your clients and the fans of the brand and some of my viewers of the channel are also interested in that. So, do you remember what your first watch was?
Oh yeah, I remember it. Maybe when I was 6 years old, something like that. I got my personal wristwatch, which was a mechanical one with an orange hand. I remember a small one, Kienzle, a German brand at that time, with a plastic strap, which was awful. But I was told that before I tried to repair the travel watch of my grandma, and as I was told, some parts were still available after my repair. So don't ask me if the watch was working. I cannot say this decades ago, but my first real own watch was this Kienzle wristwatch with mechanical movement, manual wind. I'm looking for this watch since a couple of years. It's somewhere in the cellar. Don't know where, but once a time I will have a chance to find it again.
So the foundation for profession in the watchmaking industry was set very early.
It was set really early, and it maybe even before that, because the first 2 years of my life I was living in the apartment above Mr. Sin's apartment. So most probably I heard mechanical watches when I was a few weeks old, so don't know exactly, but maybe. So could be a good reason, yeah.
So with a view to the former factory in the backyard?
Yes, with factories. Okay, so call it a factory, yeah, for sure. And my mother told me a couple of times that he was quite often in the backyard shouting. Most probably because one of the watchmakers has not made the work in the way he thought he should. But yes, so I had an early start in the watch industry.
Very interesting. And now we've learned about your first watch. And nowadays, do you have a favorite watch? I recall a certain watch on your wrist whenever we meet or I see your videos. So it looks like the same watch anytime. Is that one your favorite?
To be honest, no. No, if this would be very similar to asking parents which child is the favorite. No. The reason why I'm in the last couple of months wearing the same watch is pretty much easy. In the past, I always tried prototypes.
Okay.
But once in a while, people recognized this and asked me, or took pictures. So I decided not to do so anymore, and at the moment I'm focused on a model called Stahlblau, which has a blue dial and As you see, I'm a guy that is addicted to blue color, so it's a good fit. But this will change for sure in the next future.
Okay. Since when have you been the owner and CEO of Guinand?
I took over Guinand around 2014 to 15, and we opened the new factory in September. I think it was September of 2015. It took quite a while because the old Guinand building was just rented, was just one floor, and so we decided to stay in Frankfurt, Rödelheim. This was a wish of the Sin family, and you can imagine if you are a young company in the watch industry, it's not so easy to find another location. So finally we decided to stay in our own building, and it took a couple of months, of course, to open it, and since September, October 2015 it's open.
It's a really gorgeous one. For those who haven't been here, it's a really nice showroom, and
Thanks.
It's really great.
Yeah, we try to make it as personal as possible, I would say. Yeah. It's not a jeweler. It has more the idea of handworking, handmade. So you realize that we produce our watches by hand, and you realize that when just entering the Guinand building office, that this is handcrafted.
Yeah. Since you took over Guinand, I was just about to say just recently, but not that long ago.
Yeah, true.
I assume you turned kind of a hobby into a living. So
yeah.
Is there any time left for other hobbies or other interests besides watches?
Not really. So my recommendation to the rest of the world is never try to make your hobby a profession, because you miss then a hobby. Luckily, I still have hobbies, but I don't have time for that. So the watch, if you decide to watchmaking in the way we do it, you do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and maybe 1 hour a day maximum. I spend for other things. So, but it's not a lot of time left, I have to admit.
I've got a question which maybe is not a usual question. Let's assume you were forced to make a watch as a gift to certain persons from the watch industry. Let's say Simon Hall from Hanhart, or Lisa Eckler from Archimede Liemens, or Konrad Damasco from Damasco. Which watches would you give to them?
Of course, a Guinand watch. What else? The question that came up in my mind at that time is I would give all of them a Guinand watch, so they can wear a watch produced in Frankfurt. But I have the question if they will be able to wear that watch, because they are all watch manufacturers, so they need to wear their own watch. So I think you should give the question to them, how they can manage that.
Maybe do you want to take the call?
No, sorry, it's modern technology.
Okay.
You see, it works
Perfect.
sometimes.
Maybe I have the chance to ask them the question, which Guinand they would like to receive.
Well, I'm not sure if I would give them the opportunity to choose. So if they pay for the watch, fine. If not,
let's move to a topic which is a little bit less funny. The current situation with the Corona crisis, COVID-19, I think it has a major impact on many industries, and the watch industry as well. So how does it impact Guinand as a company, the watch industry, and the clients?
So there's my personal point of view. First of all, it doesn't make a lot of fun to wear these masks and to deal with customers, because it's not any longer personal. This is a little bit exhausting both for the customers and for us. But this is a very personal view. Of course, you have to manage production in the way that not all the people at the same time work. So to be sure that end of the day you don't need to shut down the whole company. That's the personal thing. The second thing is Corona has an impact on all our daily life, which means it starts for our industry with the supply chain. All of our suppliers have to deal with Corona, have to deal with the fact that the global industry is down, that the retailers shut their shops for weeks, that countries were closed down, like China, which is a big market for some of the big players in our industry. So it has a huge impact on the supply chain that makes it much more difficult for us to produce. Also, we have local suppliers only, but even the local suppliers are affected by all the limitations we do have. Second of all, of course, our customers, they have to deal with the fact that they don't know what will be tomorrow. They have to deal with the fact that to visit us or a jeweler or whatever doesn't make a lot of fun if you have to wear the mask. Mm-hmm. If you have to take care of all these rules that have been set up. That makes it difficult, of course, and Corona is only one part of what we see in the watch industry since more than a year. There's a transition phase happening since quite some time. The big markets like China, where all the big players have focused on, are changing. So Corona is a kind of catalyst for all these processes that are currently happening. And they show us as people, of modern people, that there are not only opportunities in globalization, but there are always risks. So the traveling and so on, and all is limited, and we need to deal with that. So I expect that we will have some serious time in front of us. But at the end of the day, we are human beings, we will be able to manage it somehow.
We expect that some of the changes and the impact we currently see have a permanent character, or do you think it will turn back to the pre-Corona times?
Personally, I believe that there will be no turn back to the old scenario. We will see that some effects created by Corona will stay. They will change the mindset of people, but of course, a lot of things will disappear. But we have to see the fact that the Corona crisis is just, let's say, really a catalyst of what is happening anyhow. So travel, working from home is something that is anyhow changing. So it's now just going faster. For the watch industry, my personal view is that the watch industry itself need to be aware that watch is a luxury product, which means you cannot grow and sell more and more and more every year. If you do so, you dilute the value of a luxury good. So we need to understand as watch industry that we need to come back to a level that is more stable, that we need to come back to customers and need to understand what a customer is looking for, and we should not overload the customers with new watches every couple of weeks with limited series and so on. This is not something that will be long lasting. So yeah, some things will turn back in one way, but I I don't expect that the overall situation will come back to the situation before Corona. No.
Did I get that right in terms of watches as luxury goods? You see the limit of growth in order not to jeopardize the character of being a luxury good?
Yeah, I think the watch was always watch as a luxury good. Mechanical watch, meaning of Guinand, was always a product for a small portion of people. So, and we need to come back to that. The luxury of a watch is that not everyone is wearing a luxury watch. So we are insiders, call it in a positive way. So I would say if the watch comes back to a situation like handcrafted clothes or shoes or whatever, we are on the right track. But this would need a huge limitation of production capabilities worldwide for the watch industry.
Okay. Interesting. So no growth or limited growth.
Growth is not a value in itself. Especially for a luxury good. So if everyone is wearing high price watch, it's not any longer a differentiator. So the key here is that still only a small percentage of people are interested in a product like a mechanical watch.
Yeah.
That's the key. It sounds crazy, but for me, that's the only way a luxury good can stay a luxury good.
Talking Guinand, what do you see the unique selling point of Guinand compared to the industry and other brands?
Well, the main differentiator is our sales model. So we'll sell directly from the factory to customers. So more or less we know all of our customers personally, either personally or at least by phone. That's a big difference to a lot of brands. The second thing, we produce handcrafted watches here in Frankfurt in very limited volumes. So a couple of other suppliers have a slightly different model. Some things are identical, but small volume, handcrafted, and the direct sales model, meeting us, able to visit us, talk to us personally, that's something that is unique to Guinand. And in addition, we have a huge history because Guinand produces watches since 1865. No interruption. It's not a fake thing. It's not a marketing thing. It's reality. So that gives us an amount of history we can work with without focus on the history. It's just let's say a book of ideas we can work with, and we do so. But it's not a load.
For those who haven't been here, I can really confirm that everything here breathes the history, and one can't see it on the video, but we are sitting here on a original Guinand table, and this is as old as the Guinand brand is.
I was told so by the owner family, Guinand, so we know the Guinand family since the very beginning, and indeed the furniture we are using here in my office is 150 whatever years old, which is kind of it reminds me every day that we have a history we have to deal with, we have to a responsibility to what all these generations before have done. But of course we are still a kind of a startup with nearly 6 years age now. So you will see some old furniture, but this is the only old thing in this house. The rest is, I would say, up to date.
Um, on your web page, you state watches made in Germany, but from what you just told me is I took away all watches are made here. Here meaning in this premises.
Yeah, exactly. So when I took over the company, we thought about should we print on the dial made in Germany, and then we realized that this is not strict enough. So we started with Hergestellt in Deutschland, which means built in Germany.
Yeah.
But then customer came back to me and say, you're a German brand, you're Frankfurt located, you produce all your watches in Frankfurt, why not printing that on the dial and on the housing? And I said, okay, if this is accepted by you, I will be proud because I'm a guy from Frankfurt, I'm born here. So all the watches are produced here in the floor below, handmade because of the low volume, handmade. And so all the watches are Frankfurt made, I would say.
It's a commitment and promise at the same time.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The future of Guinand, I may be wrong, but the core of the brand are Flieger chronographs, sporty watches.
Yeah.
But I've seen modest changes in the portfolio towards more classy watches, dress watches, Calendar 31 and others. So this is a very modest change, but are there more to expect, or will the core remain? What is the future, and how will Guinand develop over the next years without disclosing secrets?
So yeah, I will not. I mean, if I would know the future, I would change my business model. I will not tell you all the secrets, of course, because some secrets are so secret that I don't know them too. But Guinand has a long history. The first 100 years before Mr. Zinn was the main customers, we produced watches for industry and scientific use, which are today looking more like elegant watches. So in the last 50 years we were really focused on pilot chronographs, pilot watches. As both are part of our identity, we decided to strengthen the non-pilot chronograph portfolio with some models. Because both are part of our DNA, let's call it that way. Yeah, to expect more in the future, for sure, not a bad idea.
I'm curious and looking forward to it.
But be sure there will be pilot chronographs too, for sure.
Great. Towards the end, I'd like to do a kind of speed round.
Okay.
2 alternatives, and I'd like you to name those which you prefer most.
Okay.
Dog or cat?
Oh, dog. Yeah.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Beer.
I'm a German.
But bowling or barbecue?
To be honest, barbecue, because bowling I'm. Let's silence.
Cut.
Barbecue is fine.
Cologne or California?
Well, that's a good question. I like old housings, so from this aspect I would go for Cologne, but okay, I take the joker.
Ball pen or fountain pen?
I'm the traditional guy.
So it's a fountain pen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Pizza or sushi?
Pizza.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Winter.
Yeah.
Queen or Mozart?
Queen, for sure Queen. I'm sorry to say so, I like Mozart, I like his music, but I'm a guy of that time period. Queen is key.
I think we have the same taste in that point. Thank you very much. It was a huge pleasure for me.
Same for me.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope
I do so.
the customers of Guinand enjoyed and the visitors of my channel. and I look forward to the comments to come.
I'm really curious to hear what people say. Thanks
you
a
very
lot. Bye.
If you like this kind of format, if you like me talking to well-known persons in the watch industry, leave a comment. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, how you feel about this kind of format and the video. Possibly I'm able to make more of that, not very frequently, but every now and then. I look forward to it. I hope so do you. Cheers, Axel.